For me, it'd be Tom Watson because, for one, that guy was good. I mean, he won the majors. He won everything. He was like the most sharply dressed dude there was out there playing the game. You know, he kind of turned golf fashion into what it is because he was just always styling, and his game backed it up. And probably one of the coolest stories to this date is, you know, my very first year, green, 22 years old, my guy qualified for the US Open in San Francisco at Olympic Club. We show up on the tee. We missed the tee time for the US Open that you got to scribble your name on. My player goes, I'm running down to the locker room. We'll just take the next available tee time to the marshals that are on the tee. And they're like, okay, well, it looks like there's one here with Tom Watson and blah, blah, whoever. And we're like, okay, cool. So next thing you know, the US Open, thousands of people. It's like the Red Sea parting. It's like this, it just opens up. Tom Watson comes strolling up, comes right to me. It's like me, 3 or 4 marshals on the tee. He comes up to me and he's like, hi, I'm Tom Watson. I'm looking for a game. And I'm like this. And right about then, or a year before, they were running those priceless commercials and he was part of all that. And they show him in the 70s winning all the British Opens and stuff. And he's got these flash pants with roses on them and stuff, you know, and the big collars. And I'm like, I'm going to ask him. I said, Tom, do you have any of that clothes from the 70s left over? He says, yeah, I have a couple of pairs of those pants. My wife wouldn't let me get rid of them. It was funny, but just the look on his face is, this guy has one question for me, and it's this. It was funny. It was
I love
fun.
how he feels about caddies, too. He's still, anytime he talks about Bruce, he gets really emotional.
Yeah. You know, I come from Latin background, and Lee Trevino was big out there in Texas. But Tom Watson, to me, was, you know, watching on TV as a 10 and 12-year-old kid or whatever, whenever you were watching it, was just amazing to see how cool he looked doing his job. You know, he was cool. I thought.
Who you got?
He just said it. I'd say Lee Trevino because he's a Texas boy. Also, I grew up watching Happy Gilmore like crazy, so just want to see his face that one time. Go, just one time. Even if I did something wrong, I'd be like, whatever.
I'll
take it. Yeah.
I'll take the hit.
So obviously you want to have a good time with these guys, and that's a big part of it, if you ask me.
Trevino's a good one. Who you got?
I think you got to go the Canadian. If I could pinpoint it to 1 week with one player, it'd be that week with Mike Weir at the Masters. Before that, Canadian golf hadn't really taken off. Like, there wasn't huge in the news, at least. Once he won, he was an absolute rock star for the next 2 years.
That's solid, man. I would, you know what? If I was going to caddy for Mike Weir, it's weird I wouldn't want to caddy for him that week at the Masters. I'd want to caddy for him the President's Cup when it was up in Montreal.
Taking Tiger in the singles.
And then beating him.
Yeah.
They're going like total in Canada.
Yeah.
When the President's Cup, I mean, it was so over. It wasn't even funny. It didn't even matter, but it was like those two went toe to toe.
He was so good at just picking moments that just made him, like I said, a rock star in
Yeah.
Canada. I mean, he took over national news when the NHL is usually taking over the news.
Right.
So that was,
Yeah.
that would be who I'd go with.
Yeah, if golf can beat the hockey in Canada news, you did something.
You've done something.
You did something. Micah, who you got?
How cool would it be to caddy for like Byron Nelson or Walter Hagen?
Byron Nelson,
You know,
throw it down.
I mean,
That would be
winning
awesome.
all those tournaments.
Ben
you know,
Hogan, yeah.
or a Ben Hogan.
Yeah.
As far as being around legends, you talk about those are the legends.
Those are the legends.
You know, I think it would have been great back then.